Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. She's on husband number 10.
10 times, really?
One was cheating on me. One would not tell me that he loved me. He would only say ditto.
I've made a list of your criteria. Male, breathing.
Number 6 was amazing when we first got together.
Good breather. You got 3 cheaters, a doping biker, and a peeping Tom. Who the hell were you turning down? Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. You know the old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try again? Well, when it comes to marriage, my guest, Cassie, has not tried once, not twice, not 3 times, but 10 times to make one of her unions stick. She's married a preacher, a rocker, her high school sweetheart, but sooner or later, they go from walking down the aisle to heading into divorce court. And now, Cassie is desperate for my help to find out why.
I don't know why I've been married 10 times. When I'm in a marriage and I just can't take it anymore, I'm usually the first one to say, that's it, we're getting a divorce. And I quit. I remember each marriage very clearly. Unfortunately, I've not ever married for money. I believe that I have been in love with each person that I have married. In the past, I have cheated on them after they have cheated on me. I have never cheated first in the relationship. My longest marriage that I've had was 8 years, and then my shortest marriage was 6 months. Last time I added it up, I have lived in over 76 houses, and I'm 56 years old. Right now, I am not happy with where my life is at. I am on the verge of ending the relationship between me and husband number 10. He thinks I'm a control freak and that is causing problems in our life. It's just that I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. I don't care how many marriages it takes. I will keep trying until I find the one that can love me.
Well, Cassie, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
You're not going to try to marry me, are you?
No, I don't go after married men.
She's small, but she's wiry.
No, she's amazing. No, I leave married men alone. There are enough single men out there that I don't need to do that.
She'd be on you like a duck on a June bug. 10 times, really?
Yeah.
When you say that, you kind of say it with pride, really. Has it gotten to the point that you just laugh about it?
You know, it's gotten to the point where I'm either going to laugh or cry about it. And sometimes I do both. You know, I don't find it funny, and I don't find it nonchalant by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, the first time you were married for 6 years.
Right.
So that's a pretty good bite at the apple. I mean,
Right.
It wasn't like you get in and get out like a revolving door. It's a pretty good bite at the apple. Then you had a common law, which you said ended mutually.
Right.
They never end mutually. Then husband 2, you said you left the marriage for both 1 and 2 when you just reached the limit of putting up with their crap.
Yes. And husband number 2 would not say we had been married for 7 years and we had a son together. He would not say the words to me, I love you.
Okay, but you were with him for 7 years.
Right.
And how long did you court? How long did you date? How long were you engaged?
2.5 years.
Okay, now, you're not a slow learner because you're a successful businesswoman.
Right.
So did he in 2.5 years say I love you?
He would say it, yes. There were times that he would say it. But then once we got married, then he would not say it at all.
You didn't see any red flags in 2.5 years?
No. After we got married, he would only say ditto. Anytime I said I love you, he would say ditto.
Okay, then husband number 3 was 4 years.
Yes.
So we've got 6 years, then he threw in a common law in the middle, and then 7 years, and then 4 years.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's 13, 17 years. So you weren't just popping in and popping out.
Right. And then number 10 is the man that I'm with now.
So when I look at this, you got 1, 2, 3 cheaters, a doping biker, and a peeping Tom. Who the hell were you turning down?
Well, I didn't really ever turn anyone down.
Well, apparently not. I mean, so your criteria was, well, I made a list of your criteria. Male, breathing.
A little bit more than that, but you know, it was always amazing. Like I'll use number 6 as an example. He was amazing when we first got together.
Good breather?
Rented a limousine, and we went to different places, and he spoiled me and pampered me and just lavished on me for about 6 months, and then it was like, it was done. And we didn't go in, after 6 months, we didn't go anywhere, we didn't go out. It just stopped. He didn't want to do anything or go anywhere.
This was number what?
Number 6.
Somewhere along the way, 1, 2, I don't know, 3, 4, did it ever occur to you that maybe you should step out of the marriage game for a while and sit on the sidelines?
And I did. I mean, there's a couple of, like, between 1 and 2,
come on.
there's
You've been married
3 years.
10 times.
I know.
Seriously, let's be honest with
But
each other.
between 1 and 2, there's 3 years. And then between, which one? Between 5 and 7, between 6 and 7, there was 2.5 years. And that's pretty much the longest. But, you know, I refuse
here's
to give
a little
up
cheat
hope.
sheet for you. Here's a little cheat sheet for you. If you're getting married 10 times, you're not very good at it. And
You would think.
No, seriously, you would think practice you'd get better.
I'm not good at picking.
No,
them.
but listen, if you're in a leaky boat, you don't drill a hole to drain the water.
True.
And that's what you just keep getting another husband. It's like, here, get in the boat. You get in the boat. Get in the boat. Wouldn't you want to think I need to figure out what's wrong before I do this again?
And I did try that. When I was married right before I married number 4, I went to number 2 and I asked him, and number 3, and I asked both of them, what is it that I can do different to have a successful marriage? Because I'm getting really tired of this. So I want to know from your standpoint, what was I doing wrong? What if I had done this different, it would have changed our relationship. And both of them told me that there wasn't anything I could do differently, that it wasn't me. And I broke down crying in both situations, and I said, that is such an unfair statement to me. Because you're saying I was perfect, yet I'm going through the pain of having to go through the loss and get married again, you know, and find a partner again.
Well,
and I don't like that.
Are you lying to yourself about this?
No.
Because your kids tell a different story.
Oh, I know what my kids have to
No,
say.
your kids tell a very different story. Look, coming up, Cassie isn't the only one involved in her serial marriage mess. Her son and daughter say they're still working through the damage done from mom's multiple men. So we're going to meet them and hear the other side of the story, because they don't believe this, oh, it was me, not you. They say that's not the case at all. We'll hear what they have to say next.
My whole life, my mom has been with a different guy. She marries for money, not for love or happiness. I lived in at least 7 different houses when I was a child.
I didn't really ever have my own room. I never really had my things there.
So I don't think that jumping from man to man is working out for her.
I think my mom's scared to be alone.
And later, what the hell are you doing smoking dope with your daughter?
It was done recreationally, and
Oh, well, okay. My mistake then.
After I divorced husband number 3, a friend of mine and I, we went shopping and we were at a gag gift store and they had these urns and it said ashes of ex-husbands. So we bought 3 to represent each ex-husband, and then we bought one more and we changed the wording on it. Instead of ashes of ex-husband, it said ashes of next husband, and we left those sitting on the fireplace mantle. I have been married 5 times since then.
Well, Cassie isn't the only one who had to rise from the ashes of her 10 marriages. Her son Justin and daughter Jennifer say they are still reeling from the aftermath of Cassie's nuptials.
I think my mom's been married 10 times, but I've lost count.
My whole life, my mom has been with a different guy. Growing up, I don't think my mom took very good care of us. She wasn't very attentive. I lived in at least 7 different houses when I was a child.
When I would stay with my mom when I was a teen, I didn't really ever have my own room. I never really had my things there.
She marries for money, not for love or happiness. She thinks money is what makes her happy. She'll find someone and make sure they have money. She'll marry them really quickly, like within months. Then once that's used up, she evacuates and moves on to the next one. I know that my mom has cheated on a handful of her husbands.
I actually witnessed my mom cheating on one of her ex-husbands. She would take me with her and go meet up with this guy. I see them, holding hands, kissing, and then we'd pack up, get in the car, we'd get home, and he had no idea what was happening.
So I did see my mom cheat on my little brother's dad when I was 12. I saw her kissing the preacher on the couch.
My mom can be conniving and manipulative, plays the victim a lot, tries to make people feel sorry for her.
She's a compulsive liar. She's mean, pushy, and she's definitely two-faced. So I don't think that jumping from man to man is working out for her in the long run.
I think my mom's scared to be alone.
I have not seen my mom in 3 years because she was a really toxic influence in my life.
They're telling a different story, that you're cheating on these husbands.
There were times that I did cheat after I had been cheated on in response to them cheating on me, which was not.
Well, they're not here to
should have
defend
done
themselves,
but it did happen that way. Yes.
Well, that's you didn't bring that up when you were talking to me before. You didn't say. I said, "Why is this happening?" You said, "I don't know." I went and asked them, and they said, "Gee, it's me, not you. You're saying they're cheaters. They're not here to defend themselves and say no." But your own kids are saying you went and cheated in front of them.
Yeah, Justin's dad did not cheat on me. It wasn't the right thing to do. I understand that. I should have left the marriage sooner and not cheated on them. But yes, I did.
Well, here's a statement from one of Cassie's ex-husbands. He said, the marriage ended because Cassie was unfaithful. She treats marriage like a job. She won't quit one until she has another one lined up, ready to go. So she's not between paychecks.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, it's a theory.
I don't know.
And if you really want to know, you said you went and asked number 2 and 3 or something.
Right.
What is it about me that I can't stay married? Here's some input. Here's some feedback. You need to hear that. Right. Somebody's saying you treat it like jobs. You want another job lined up before you quit the one you got.
To a degree, I do treat my marriages like a job, and I can see that statement because everything has to be in order. It has to be routine.
Well, they're saying you add that to what your kids say. Your kids say you marry for money. When you run through the money, then you move on to the next one. And here's one of the husbands saying you treat it like a job. You want to have another paycheck lined up before you run through that one.
I didn't marry for money.
Well, Justin joins us now by Ionico, and Jennifer's going to join us. So, Justin and Jennifer, thank you guys for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having us, Dr. Phil.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of this because I think your mother kind of looks at it through a filter, and I'm curious what you've been listening. What do you have to say?
Well, when she brought up, the never cheating thing, she literally had, someone lined up before she told my dad she wanted to leave. So I know for sure that, the guy just moved right into the house after my dad moved out, so literally replaced him. So I know that's untrue. And then she took me along with her, while she cheated on, I think, number 4. I don't know, I lost count.
Yeah, and then Jennifer, you walked in on her kissing the preacher, right?
She thought we were all asleep, and I was still awake and saw her.
Uh-huh.
And it was the preacher that came at right after Justin's dad. So.
Yeah.
And
So,
I had.
wait, as soon as you said that, you laughed. Tell me what's funny about that.
Well,
Your
I had
children
met the
seeing you with
preacher
another
guy,
man.
and I liked him. He was cute, and he was attentive. He paid attention to me, and every girl likes that. But I was married, and I went home that night, and nothing inappropriate happened between he and I. But I went home that night, and the kids went to bed, and I sat at the table, and I told him, I said, here's what I need. I need more love, more attention, more affection. I need to be important to you. I need to know that you love me. And I need for you to tell me that you love me. So either you're going to have to say that you love me and you're going to have to show me affection, or you're going to have to pack and you're going to have to leave, because I can't do this anymore. And he chose to pack and leave, and me and the minister immediately started seeing each other.
That same night?
No, the next. It was like a night or two after that. It wasn't that same night.
A night or two after that.
Yeah, it was a night or two after that I agreed to let
preacher
him.
comes over, and
Yeah, he made the choice to leave. I told him what I needed, and he said he couldn't give that to me, and he left. So should I sit there crying in my beer when there's someone else that wants to give me these
run him
things?
out, run the preacher in.
Right.
Coming up, Jennifer says her mom is a mean, two-faced, compulsive liar. Cassie says she's ready to get real, but is she lying to us about something else? I'll reveal what that might be when we come back.
They act like they are my parents.
So she's hoping that you agree with her and tell all of us how horrible we're being to her.
My mom's life is very unstable. She likes to fight and argue a lot. She has a volatile personality. She would just yell, scream, throw stuff. She always would tell me I was the spawn of Satan. If my mom doesn't take responsibility for her actions, I don't want her in my life at all.
Jennifer says her mom, Cassie, is a toxic narcissist. Her brother Justin says Cassie is kind-hearted, but yet is conniving. They both think that she lies about drug use.
My mom was a church mom, and then she flipped her script and became a party mom.
I went from this straight-laced church mom, here's the rules, to now we have a new party mom. And it's been very difficult for my children.
My mom went from alcohol to using serious drugs, including meth.
While I was married to husband number 4 and 5, we smoked meth. It was very sporadic. It was a dabbling in it kind of thing.
I tried using meth for the first time when I was 16 or 17, and after Mom found out, she started using with me.
I want to say she was around 20 years old, but she was already using it. It wasn't like I brought it into her life.
We've used meth together on and off about 20 years.
There's 4 years total of meth use between me and my daughter. I have never been a meth addict.
She won't admit to any of it. No, I quit. I've been clean for 2 years. It's always 2 years. That's her number.
The last time I used meth was 2 years ago. I knew I had to make a change.
She's been saying she's been clean for 2 years for probably 7 or 8 years now. She thinks she has people fooled that she's clean. I do believe she's currently still using.
Okay. Now, the plot thickens. So during these 10 marriages, you've been doing drugs?
No, not through all of them.
What? No. And please don't run through all 10 of them.
No, I won't.
But you've been doing drugs throughout a significant portion of your life.
Only 4, 5, and 6.
You're going to run through them.
And no, just 4, 5, and 6.
Well, you've done drugs with your daughter.
Yes.
You've been doing meth with your daughter.
Yes.
And that wasn't just through 4, 5, and 6.
No, when she was 21.
Okay, hold on. You just said no. You
No.
said, I did drugs for 4, 5, and 6. I said, no, you've been doing drugs with your daughter, and that wasn't just through 4, 5, and 6. You said, no.
Yeah, it was, because when she was 21, I was with number 4 and 5.
That's a lie. We've been doing meth together since I was about 17 years old.
What the hell are you doing smoking dope, doing meth with your daughter?
It was done recreationally. And
Oh, well, okay. My mistake then. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I didn't know it was just recreational. Do you hear what you're saying? I ask you, what are you doing engaged with your daughter for whom you are to be a role model, and you're doing meth with her, and you say, well, it's just recreational?
my daughter and
As
I
opposed
have
to what?
never, my daughter and I have never had a mother-daughter relationship. We have always been like sisters.
Or you justify it?
No, I'm not trying to
Then
justify
why are you
anything.
wasting my
I'm being
time?
honest. It's being blown up bigger than what it was.
What? She got married and moved to Colorado. Well, she quit doing the drugs, and she, I think, put on some weight. Short time later, they split up. She came home to be with my mom to help her get back on her feet. And one of the first words out of my mom's mouth was, "You know how you can get skinny again, don't you?"
No,
you
I
don't
never
tell your
said
daughter
that
that's,
to her.
that's splitting up from her husband that.
She
That's
started
clean.
working in a local bar and got involved with some people that were doing meth.
You never said that to her.
No, I never said that.
Did she say that to you, Jennifer?
Yes, she did.
No, I didn't.
Well, here's a statement from Cassie's
Yes,
oldest
most
daughter.
definitely did.
She says, it's like dealing with a 14-year-old emotionally. I know that she is actively on drugs. She would deny that to her grave that she's on them right now. I haven't seen a lot of remorse. It's always somebody else's fault.
Oh, I'm not blaming anyone else. I don't ever blame anyone else for my actions. I take responsibility for my
So
actions.
she's lying.
Dr. Phil,
Yes.
she called me on her way to California, and I told her, I said, Mom, whatever it takes to get you, any help that you need, moving forward. And she said, well, I don't need help. I just want to put my family back together. So she's hoping that you agree with her and tell all of us how horrible we're being to her.
They act like they are my parents.
Well, it sounds like you need some parents.
No, I don't. I need for them to realize that I am a grown-up, and for them to quit going through all of my drawers and every single thing that I own. They find all of
I
my
haven't been back to Texas
negligees
in-
and all of the stuff that I don't want them seeing, that no parent would want their
What?
child seeing.
are
If
you
we
talking
smoke
about?
weed recreationally, I don't want them seeing that. And, things like that. But they're so nosy that I have no private life when they're in my house.
Coming up, Jennifer says her mom must have another motive to speak with me other than fixing her family feud and reckoning with her former failed marriages. She says her mom always has an agenda. So what does Cassie have to say about that? If there's a hidden agenda, if there's something she's really after, what is it? Maybe we'll find out after the break.
I think it's funny my mom wants to talk to Dr. Phil. She always has an agenda with what she does, and I don't know. I think she just saw an opportunity and jumped on it. I think she only does anything to benefit herself. She's a little bit of a scam artist. I have no idea what her agenda could be with Dr. Phil. I'm very skeptical of my mother.
Well, Cassie says she wants to connect with her children, Jennifer and Justin. Now, she's been married 10 times. Now, that counts a few what she calls common laws, including the current one. Now, she really fears that I'm going to tell her to leave her current man, Kevin, whom she, as I say, refers to as a common law husband. Why do you think I would tell you to leave this one?
Just because of things that I've had to reach out to my son and my daughter and let them know what was going on in the relationship. I believe it's a relationship that is worth working on. And I don't want to just abandon I don't just abandon relationships at the drop of a hat. I give them warning after warning after warning after warning. I'm not happy. This has got to stop. I can't live with this. This has got to stop. And, you know, as far as Jennifer saying that, you know, I have an ulterior motive, Jennifer lived with me until she was 36 years old. I paid her way. She did not have a job. She would work at a bar, but she'd drink all of her money away. And I supported that child. I bought her at least 5 cars. I've given that child everything I can possibly give her. If I had it, even if it was my favorite thing and she wanted it, I would give it to her. I just wanted her to be happy, and I wanted her to be successful. The only agenda that I have is I want my family back. I just want us to be a family again.
Why aren't you?
Because in 2018, Jennifer met the man that she's married to.
Jennifer, how long have you been in this relationship?
We've been married for almost 3 years.
And you're not real keen on taking marriage advice from your mother? Is that the point?
No, not at all.
She knew him for 1 week when they were going to get married.
Well, seriously,
A month.
let me tell you, here's my point. If I'm out at the airport and I'm getting ready to get in an airplane and fly it, and there's some guy standing over here and he's all bandaged up and he's on crutches, and I say, what's wrong with him? Well, he's taken off and crashed 10 times, and I'm getting ready to take off. I don't think I'm going to go get advice from him on how to fly.
Right.
You know, I think I would stop a car on the road and ask a stranger before I would go ask somebody that's crashed 10 times in a row. Do you really think you have credibility on giving marriage advice to a daughter, and you've been married 10 times, and you've said, I'm not really her mother, I'm her sister. We do meth together.
But at this point, at the point that we were...
Are you really... No, wait a minute. Answer my question.
Okay, I
Do you really
understand that.
think you're credible? You've been married 10 times, and you've done meth with her.
I know all the things not to do.
No, you don't.
In a marriage.
Because you keep doing new things not to do.
Like
And
what?
then the guy you're with now is just like the guy you were with in the beginning.
Well, coming up, the guy now actually says there's only one common denominator in all of Cassie's failed relationships, and we're going to talk to him right after the break.
My mom is physically abusive to me growing up. She beat me all the time for no reason. She'd tell me, I know you're going to do something wrong later. She never wanted me in the first place, so that's what she always told me. I'm sure it affected my self-confidence growing up.
So is she lying?
Yes.
Why would
know
why would I lie
that
about
happened.
I beat her one time. I overly spanked her one time.
one time?
It angered me that she was acting up at her grandfather's house when I told her to be on her best behavior. And so I gave her a spanking, and probably it was with a belt, and I hit her maybe 10 to 15 times. And it was it was too much, and it was out of anger, and it should not have happened. But that is the only time I ever beat that child.
So I'm just making it up that I got beat. That's just in my head.
Yes.
No, I don't think
You got
so.
spankings a lot because you wouldn't do what you were told to do.
You broke Justin's wooden sword from medieval times across my back.
No, I did not.
I remember crying because I didn't have a sword anymore.
So you did spank her numerous
I did
times,
spank my children,
but you
yes.
only categorized one of them as a beating.
Right.
Well, Cassie's common-law husband, Kevin, says he doesn't want marriage. He just wants to be friends and live in his own house. He joins us now on the phone. Kevin, you're not looking at this to be a long-term, like, marriage relationship?
I never did go into it not thinking that. I just think that we both have a lot of things we need to work on.
Uh-huh. And you say you bought a ring, but you've done that with all your girlfriends.
Well, yeah, if they become to where I get like a committed relationship, kind of, yes.
Uh-huh. Have you led her to believe that y'all are going to get married?
We talked about getting married, but I never did set a date or anything.
Well, you say since the day that you met that you've told her that she's the common denominator in her failed relationships.
Yes, I have said that.
And you don't want to be the next failed relationship.
No, not really. No.
Are you surprised,
No.
Cassie, to hear him say that he just wants a friendship? Because you've been.
I am surprised to hear him say he just wants a friendship because he drives my vehicles. He's driven my truck for a year and a half. We've lived together for a year and a half. Every time I move, he doesn't move with me at first, and then the next thing I know,
Mom.
he's starting to move his stuff in.
Justin, go ahead.
You told me you weren't going to tell him where you were moving to the past 3 times you've moved.
I know, and I tried.
Because you want to get away from him and you don't want to be with him and because he's mean to you.
He said he wanted me to change my name and use his name. And then when he opened his bank account, he listed me as his spouse. There's been many things that he's listed me as his spouse.
Okay, but listen, you're asking me what is it that I keep getting married over and over again, and I can tell you if you really want to know the truth. Let me give you a little truth right now.
Right.
You got a guy on the phone here that's saying to us, I just want to be friends.
And that's fine.
No, hear me.
I am perfectly fine with that.
No. Hear me. I'm not talking about him. Could care less what y'all do. I'm telling you, look at the red flags you miss. He's saying, I just want to be friends.
Right.
But then he's saying clearly they're mixed. No, let me.
No, I'll let you finish. I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything. Go ahead.
Welcome to my world, Dr. Phil.
Yeah. I think I'm beginning to get this. You don't really want to know.
I do want to know.
Then listen.
But
You're not listening.
with number 10, there are extenuating circumstances that he's not talking about.
She clearly doesn't want to hear the truth about a damn thing from me. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, season 19 is underway.
If you never made it to Hollywood to be a part of the studio audience, well, now it doesn't matter. If you're in Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas, New Jersey, or anywhere else in the world, now you can be a part of our virtual audience.
All you need is a computer and an internet connection. Go to drphil.com and click on Be Part of the Audience for more information.
Hope to see you soon.
I mean, I blame my mom for a lot of the struggles that I've had as an adult. My ex-wife and I got divorced about a year ago. I knew her for 4 months. It was my best friend's sister. That's what marriage was. Hey, if it didn't work out, you can always get divorced, right? I do view my mom's marriages as a blueprint of what not to do.
Justin says after his divorce last year, he's currently engaged again, and his new fiance doesn't want any drama at the wedding. But with Cassie, well, look that up in the dictionary. Just look up drama, and there's Cassie's picture right beside it. So he's very concerned about that. Now, supposedly, she wants to know what's the issue that she keeps getting married and it keeps failing. I started to tell her, and she said, oh, no, wait, no, but. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but. I hear what you're saying, but. I hear what you're saying, but. You never heard what I said because you interrupted me every time and started giving an excuse before you even heard what it was. You don't really want to know. You want the family back together, but you don't want to take on the role of a responsible parent. And look, there's no point in chasing the wrong one because the right one won't run. You're chasing this guy. He's saying, I want to be friends. Yeah, but 5 credit cards, I'm on his. Are you trying to build a fence around him? Are you trying to trap him? Are you cross-examining him into marrying you? If you've got to talk him into it, if you've got to build a case that proves that he's said enough that you can guilt-induce him into marrying you, that's not what you want. Just what he has said on the phone in the last 5 minutes should be clear enough to you that this is a dead-end street.
And I have realized that.
You're afraid to be alone.
I'm not afraid to be alone. For the last 8 years, my ex-husband was only home 2 days a week. I was by myself all the time.
You have an
But you
answer
had
for
someone.
everything, but you don't stop to hear Justin is telling you a truth. You are relationship dependent. Cassie says she drove 19 hours to ask me what's wrong with her and why her marriages keep failing. I'll try to complete my answer when we come back. Cassie, I'm going to give you some advice that's real clear, okay? Real clear. You're relationship dependent. You've just gone from one to another. It's just become habit with you. And you say, I want my family back. Then here's my advice for you. You need to get out of this relationship. Send a truck over and get your stuff. But you need to get out of that relationship, and you need to stay out of a relationship for at least a year, and you need to put your focus on rebuilding the relationship you have with your 3 children. That needs to be the focus of your relationship. And you need to build the relationship you have with yourself. You need to observe yourself doing well in this life without being dependent on a man. You don't need to be in a relationship to be okay. You're selling yourself short. Now, come on, you know as well as I do that you've done without a lot in your life. You've scratched and scrambled around, but you also know that you have figured out a way to create yourself a business, to get a foothold in life, and you are self-sufficient at this point, correct? Yes. And whatever your relationship is with drugs, if you want to self-destruct, you're right, your kids can't tell you what to do. If you want to self-destruct, then every time you do that, you know this is a conscious choice. I'm choosing to self-destruct instead of have a relationship with Justin, instead of have a relationship with my daughters. I'm making a choice. What's more important, my children or getting high? And you just have to know when you make that decision, that's the choice you're making. You're saying, kids, you don't count, getting high does. And if you go home and continue to have drama going back and forth with Kevin, and he's there and he's not there and he's there and he's not there, you'll never have a healthy relationship as long as you continue to get in relationships that are toxic. Yeah, I know we're in a pandemic right now, and I'm gonna jumpstart you with 10 great sessions with a therapist. With Doctor On Demand, which is a company that we're involved in. My son founded this company. So they do teletherapy. You sit right in your office or right at home and on the screen, and you can talk to them and say all the yeah buts you want, and they'll listen to them for a little while, and then they'll say, okay, you can't say yeah but anymore. We're going to now talk about moving forward. Right. And then they may invite Jennifer to be involved. They may invite your older daughter to be involved. They may invite Justin to be involved for some family paradigm, making a plan so you can move forward. If you want your family back, I will help you create a family constellation that's healthy. But it can't happen if you're doing what you're doing. You have to stop. And you have to stop this toxic relationship pattern you're in and say, the most important thing to me is my family, so I'm putting them first. I'm going to set this up for you right away, okay? Now, if you at home want your own Doctor On Demand, you can get it too. Just go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and you can download the Doctor On Demand app. To make it easier for you to see a board-certified doctor from the safety of your own home. And if you have Medicare Part B, everything is free. Put yourself first for a change. You think you do, but you don't.
I don't.
I want to thank all of my guests today. If you'd like more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. And don't forget to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret. She talks about all kinds of secrets to finding joy, happiness, fulfillment in life, and she's there every week. We'll see you next time. So long.